Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to a new video. In this video I want to talk to you about Mythic Plus and how it's been received in Shadowlands, what some of the issues are, and where I think Blizzard need to improve going forward. Just before we get into it, I am having some issues at the moment. I've got a new microphone which has fixed the microphone issue and cutting out. However, I'm now having some issues with my screen flickering during recordings. I'm not sure what the issue is. If anyone does happen to know, please let me know in the comments and I will happily get that fixed. If not, I will spend some time trying to figure it out. But for the moment, the gameplay is just background sort of footage. What I'm talking to you about is the main purpose of this video. So guys, let's get into it. So Mythic Plus has been received in a few different ways so far, this expansion. The general consensus is, from Mythic Plus Discords and things like that, and that's where I've been getting a lot of my information, is the dungeons are fun. There's enough variety in there. There's enough difference between the dungeons. A lot of the bosses are well designed. There are some hard bosses and stuff that's needed to be tuned. But ultimately, the Mythic Plus design is good. One of the biggest issues I've heard so far is things like transport. You look at Spires of Ascension, people don't particularly like the jumping around and having to wait probably about 3 or 4 minutes in a group in a Mythic Plus in a timed environment, waiting for an angel to carry you from one place to another. So I know that's not something that people have particularly enjoyed, but I ultimately think the dungeons themselves have been very well received. Now let's get into the Mythic Plus aspect of it. The affixes, there are some affixes that have been much better received than others. I think Prideful has been a huge success. I think it's one of the best affixes I've ever played in WoW. I've really enjoyed it, and actually I feel lost when I'm playing on my alts that are lower geared, not doing +10s. I actually feel lost without Prideful. It adds a little bit more difficulty in that you want to get it timed correctly and things like that. But the reward from it is so fantastic that it is very nice. There are some other affixes that just make the week unplayable or not fun to play. That's not fun to me. Mythic Plus is probably my primary reason to play the game. If there's a week where there's bad affixes, I literally just don't play. And that's not fun. So I think some of the affixes could do with a little bit of balance, a little bit of tuning to balance them out, even if it means making some of the easier ones harder. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is weeks where people just don't want to run keys. And that is what it is. This week is a nice push week, so I've been having fun in Mythic Plus. Last week was a horrible week. I didn't play the game. And that's not fun at all. So I think that's quite a good sort of representation of it. I think a lot of the affixes need a little bit of balance in either way. And let's talk loot. Now, my Boomy is currently, at this point in time, 219.9 eye level. Cannot for the life of me get to 220. I have 2 items that can possibly be upgraded through Mythic Plus. One is a trinket, and the only trinket in Mythic Plus that offers me an upgrade is IQD from the other side, and a weapon. Now, while all of the weapons would be a slight upgrade to me at 210, I very specifically want the one from Mists. That means that I have 2 dungeons to go and farm, and that's fine. That's always the issue that's always a thing with Mythic Plus. That's always been a thing with dungeons. People have always targeted certain items, and that's fine. However, at 210 IM level, any heroic weapon, any mythic weapon, any PvP weapon above 1.8k is better than anything I can get from Mythic Plus outside of a weekly vault once a week. Now, in that weekly vault, I've seen people who have done 115 or 110 on an ult and got a 220 weapon. I've currently done 8 weeks worth of 3 chests from Mythic Plus at least 220 eye level, if not 223, 226. I've never seen a weapon drop. The gear differential between Mythic Plus, PvP and Raid is huge this tier. And I understand for PvPers, it's normally the other way around, so I understand why they're happy. Raiders aren't happy. The loot from Raid has been awful with the drops. I think going forward, Mythic Plus needs to have some sort of token system. Some sort of, right, okay, you completed a 15 at the end of this week, you got 300 tokens, and for 300 tokens you can buy a piece of loot from a dungeon at, I don't know, maybe the same level as the highest you've cleared. So if I go and do a Mist 15, I can go and buy, with the tokens I get at the end of the week, a item from Mists. Might not necessarily drop my weapon, but it'll give me something that I can actually target farming on the pieces I don't get from the raid and PvP. Might give me a little bit extra. I also think it should be the same level as Heroic. You've got the last two bosses in Heroic that offer 220 gear. I think Mythic Plus should be at least 213 for 15s. That's just my opinion. If you guys have other opinions, please let me know. So let's sum it all up. I think the dungeons have been really well received, and I don't think anyone can ever claim otherwise. I think they've been really enjoyed. There's been lots of bugs and lots of things like that unfortunately is just a part of games nowadays upon release. WoW seems to have this great cycle of releasing a half-finished game on release, and by about the second or third raid tier, we get a really polished, nice expansion. You look at the MDI as an example, look how many bugs and exploits and things were used in that to give teams an advantage. Unfortunately, that's just something that I don't agree with. It shouldn't be played in a tournament setting, but Blizzard won't change it. Their logic is that they've told people, and that's about it. So I ultimately think they're not far wrong from a very, very successful expansion in terms of Mythic Plus. I just think they need to go that one step further and actually tidy some things up. So guys, I'm going to leave this video here. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm really interested to have this conversation with you. If there's any thoughts you have about this, or if you want to talk about any other topic, I will be releasing topics on a load of different stuff in the next week or so, so please subscribe if you are interested. Other than that, thank you for watching. Catch you later. Goodbye.